So let the sideshow begin. Hurry, hurry, step right on in. Can't avoid to pass it by. Guaranteed to make you cry. Oh, I can fly like a bird in the sky. Oh, I can buy anything that money can buy. I can turn a river into a raging fire. I can live forever if I so desire. I can't get next to you. Can't get next to you, girl. You're blowing my mind. Cause you know I can't get next to you. I can't get next to you. I said to feel the highs, you feel the lows, you feel the beat all between your toes. Let's get small. What you gonna do? Let's get small. Can I take you higher? Let's get small. There we go. Uh, oh, whoops. You're out of order. Give the energy of blue argonite to everybody. Blue argonite, baby. Blue argonite for you. She's a bad mamma jamma, just as fine as she could be. She's fresh, she's fine, all the thing a man likes. Got oh shit. This shit's heavy. Where the Flynn's at? Where the Flynn's at? Where the Flynn's at? Well, good morning. This is the Chocolate Mountain Show. I am your super funky host, Big Pontiac. I'm also known as Eight Wind, and I'm also known as the Time Lord. I take all that. And I am also the holder of the infinite sacred ball game that is created by the Hero Twins. And I am also your one and only galactic daddy-o, welcoming each of the Chocolate Mountaineers to my galactic patio, from Minnesota to the universe. I do have to get up and get a prop. All right. Now, I do have a complaint. I'm a beer connoisseur, and I have a complaint. I bought this beer last night. It's called Three Floyds Bricks Brew. Right here it says Irish style red ale. You see that? That's what I'm anticipating. But there were some trick words in their English. It says, born in Munster, Ireland, Brian Boros spent his life uniting the Irish tribes to become the first High King of Ireland with a heavy dose of new and old world hops. See, that's what it made me ponder and wonder and pause. Gives rise to notes of citrus, stone, and tropical fruit. And this rich and full-bodied Irish-style red ale for him. Yeah. This is some bullshit, and it's false advertising. Killian's makes about the only true red ale. This ain't nothing but a hazy IPA. It should not say red ale when it's a hazy IPA. Now, the alcohol content wasn't bad. It's 6.5. It'll get you funky, but my taste buds were ready for red ale, and they give me some fucking IPA, hazy IPA. Very disappointed in this bullshit. But there's always a plan. So I had to fall back because they don't have any of my shake. So we're going to go with Leinie Coogan, which is really owned by Miller. They used to be a Wisconsin beer, but they're owned by Miller. But it's chocolate dunkel. And dunkel is an old, it says lager with cocoa, nibs, and natural chocolate flavors. So I bought a 6-pack of some bullshit, but I filled it up. So I had to go stop and get this. Now you look at that. Look at that. Don't you wish you were me right now? Don't you wish you were me having the chocolate dunkel? Don't you wish you were me? Oh, that chocolate goodness. Don't you wish you were me and holding this pint of chocolate goodness in your hand? So pop them if you got them. And definitely, we still are smoking on the unicorn hookah, which does not disappoint. You just hit the magic button, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. It vibrates in your hand, and then you hold it. I blow big stacks. I blow big stacks. I blow big stacks. Smoke them if you want them. And I am chewing on a nice Marco Havana. I am, what is it called? Nicotined out with this sucker. So, welcome. Who we got in here? Marcus the Great. What is happening? Thank you, D. Barbara, I was just thinking about you. Greetings, Lauren. Thank you for inviting me to Galactic Patio. You are welcome. I was just thinking about you. I am going, greetings. Do you prefer long sleeve or short sleeve? And I want them. Do you, it's the nice weather's coming in, but because I looked at a couple twin shirts and I ain't like them. I really didn't like them. So, do you want long sleeve or short sleeve? Do you prefer Vikings, twins? Oh, you should want the Wild because they won tonight and won me some money. They won me some money. 6-2. Was it Elliott that had a hat trick? So I'm happy about that. But let me know what you want. Short sleeve. Okay, that's what I thought. Oh, and let me tell you some other bullshit. I be going through bullshit. So this ain't a cheap hat. This is a Mitchell and McNeese. This hat costs, I took it off. This hat costs $44 just for the blank. Just for the blank, I get a discount because I buy so many hats. But it's just for the blank, $44. So I know I ain't gonna say his name, but how should I say this? One of my friends had someone ask how much I was gonna make hats for. Now, if you want a hat like this hat $44. To get shit wrote on them is about 14 bucks. Okay. So a hat like this is going to cost you 44 bucks plus the writing. I get a little discount because I buy so many. So 2 hats would cost 90 bucks like this. But I found some cheaper fitted hats, but they ain't these. After 3 attempts, this is the bullshit they made for me. I felt sorry for the sister because she done fucked up 2 hats. One hat, one time she had like these words way over here. The PO was way over here. She's like, I really didn't want this one, but because if you see the wind is pointing down and on this side is pointing away. So she fucked it up. But I know what I want next time is another store where I'm going to take it out to the Mall of America because I know the girl out there. She'll do a better job, but it still costs me. So this is the new Big Pontiac hat. Took damn near a week to do this shit. And she really, because corporate was in her ass, the girl who was making them, the corporate was like, you got to fix this. And she didn't want me to take it, to be honest. She was like, but it's good enough. Short sleeve, you want the wild? Bet. Okay, I can get you a wild for sure. Might grab a couple of them. Hey, Key, how you doing? So this is the bullshit I had to go through. It took her a week to fuck it up. No, thank you, Barbara. It's all right, but I'm gonna get a better one made. I'm gonna go out to the mall. I got a friend that she works out there, and I should have took it to her. It's a guy I know too, and I should have took it to them, but it gave me ideas. So, but yeah, that's the price of this shit. So, I guess how I want to start off tonight is, the doctors allow me to go to work. I've been on disability, I'm a talk like the mafia people. I am a retired quality control ref coach living on a pension. So the doctors thought it was a good idea that I would try to work. So the last 3 days, I did get a job. And let me say this. I found a place, no drug tests. I didn't even have a resume. I just wrote to their whatever bullshit it is. I wrote them online and applied online. No resume, no drug tests. I am not a temporary or contract employee. I'm a full employee with the company with benefits that started from day one. I haven't worked in over 9 years. I haven't physically been able to work. I drop shit all the time. Since I had 15 surgeries, I think it is, it's hard for me to do much. So I started working, and where I work now, and it's only 3 days a week, and that was torture. My feet. It's funny about my inserts. My inserts are supposed to stop plantar fasciitis. Monday, I had plantar fasciitis like a motherfucker. I mean, my shit was plantar fasciitis literally feels. Where's the motherfucker at? Okay, cloaking motherfucker. Why are you cloaking the goddamn cheek? Oh, here it is. Let me show you what plantar fasciitis feels like. Every time you take a step, it feels like this thing is sticking you on your arm. Every time you take a step, it feels like a knife is sticking in your foot. So Monday, I wore my Doms 2 with the inserts. My shit was sore the motherfucker. And I only worked 5 hours. Yesterday wasn't as bad, kind of switch shoes. Today, I wore my freaking Skechers. I took the other pair of shoes. I took my gun. But today with the Skechers, I was able to wear the Skechers damn near the whole 5 hours. So I feel better. This is what they do. This is what the company does. The company literally sends books to high schools, grade schools, colleges. There must be 20 million books in this place. There is so much work in this place, and they pay 17, $18 an hour, something like that. I think I'd make $18 an hour. And I could work as much as I want to work. I could literally, I mean, it is so much work there. They asked me if I wanted to work tomorrow, the next day, if I wanted to work Saturday. They only have 2 shifts. And I work by myself. And it's like you have a library card and you just pick books and make orders for these schools. So it's interesting. It's interesting. So that's what I'm able to do. Felt good going back to work again. I have not worked. My daughter is about to be 11. When I got hurt, she was 2. So I ain't worked 8, 9 years. You know, I haven't had to work. Again, I am a retired person living on a pension. But it made me think of the last place I did quality work. And I remember this dude got my, well, first of all, I told the story before about the dude I made a mistake and gave a ride home to. We was really cool. And I told the story before. We was really cool. First day, his shit was always breaking down. This dude had been working there for years, yet he could not get a car that would work properly to take him to work. So he had bought a junker that broke down. He had bought another junker that broke down. So he needed a ride to work till he bought another junker. First day, I give him a ride home, and it's way out of my way. I'm leaving Eden Prairie. I got to take him to Richfield. I'm taking him damn near 15 miles out the way. I live 15 minutes from the place. I got to drive 20 minutes to take him, 20 minutes to come home. 40 minutes out of my way that it would take me normally 15 minutes to get home. First night, my son picked me up in his Grand Wagoneer, whatever the fuck that was. It was like 2003, 2004. So dude was cool. We go home. I take him home, no thing. He insulted me. He's like, well, you can drop me off on the bridge. You know, he didn't want me to know where he lived. This is how this buster was acting. And I said before, you know. So next day I give him a ride home. Well, this time, my other son was working with me there. So this time, we drive in the Land Rover. And you talk about a jealous buster that I'm doing a favor for, and I could just see the jealousy. I could just see it just streaming down his face. This buster was so, I mean, you talking about a dude who hated black folks, melanated folks, American Indians. He hated me because here I am. He been working there for 2 years. I'm a contract employee doing motherfucking quality work, which is my background. And he's hating. And it was like the steam was just rolling out of his head. And we was never cool after that. And damn near whooped his ass at the job. So there was another dude that was the manufacturing. Again, we're in quality. There's another dude that's in manufacturing. But, you know, we work together because we got to get our shit together to give him his. This dude comes to me and says, well, you know, you guys, one night you guys did 50 something loads. And then this tonight you only did 52. And I looked at him, I said, but we only have to do 25. You talking about a hurt European. He had never had anyone, because he was kind of a bully from what I looked at. He had never had anyone stand up when he criticized. And I stood up to him and I'm like, no, we only got to do 25. So what is you talking about? And that's what I said. I said, we only got to do 25. So what are you talking about? That man wrote a 20-page letter to his executives on how I defiled the company. But really, and you read it, it was nothing but emotionalism. So, hey PJ, I see you. What's happening? What's happening, PJ, my man? You know, Barbara's smart. She want that wild gear. Hey, the wild 162. Hey, CWE, what's happening? Yeah, I think so too, CWE. Damn, that happened to me before. Gave this fool a ride and he tried to talk shit like I was gonna beat his ass and he knew it. Oh, that you know, it was like the European dude. I ain't even had to threaten him or nothing, but it was like I broke. He was not used to people standing up to him, and I just broke him. I broke him. I could see, you know, how Frank the monster had the pins in the neck and shit to get the jump start. I could see that shit rattling in his neck. You know, when they say the word peckerwood, I mean them peckerwood veins started coming out. And I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. I'm talking about this dude. Oh, that peckerwood was all shit, but he knew he would get that fade. He knew he would get that fade fucking with me. So that was never a question. Oh. Oh, let me tell you, you know, I'm like this. I watch hockey before basketball. I'm a wild fan. I missed the other night. Steph Curry shot a deep shot and it went off the backboard and went in. It was so manipulated. I was watching that shit. I was like, oh, I'm gonna do a video on that. Again, I'm going back and forth between games that I forgot. So yeah, I missed that. And tonight, a little bit the game wasn't really exciting. I missed the first game, so I can't really say about the first game. I got home too late. Hey Valerie, thank you for joining. He needed some fries to go with that salt. Oh, he did. That dude. And I'll say again, I'm not trying to make fun of anybody, but that Peckerwood, he was. I mean, that it's a Peckerwood vein when they really get mad at this show and shit. Biden be having that shit. Is that Peckerwood vein? Oh, he was about to go crazy because he had never had nobody stand up to it. Just seething with jealousy. Oh, that brother. Oh my goodness. I was about to beat his ass. I really was gonna beat his ass. Hockey has oh, I've said this before. Zach Hubbard did the best hockey one, and it's probably on a race channel. But he showed. I've said this many times. It showed a puck where somebody cleared the puck, and it was just a goalie back there. The goalie was like, say, you know, the goal is behind him, and to your right, the puck went to say our right. Okay, nobody there to hit it. This shit hit the boards, came around the goldie. It was no way possible where it went. Came around the goldie and zigzagged past him. I mean, it literally zigzagged past him and went in. A shot that was just cleared. And that was the best manipulated hockey shot I've ever seen. But yeah. So hockey too. Yeah, they shot the ball way above square. No, yeah, it was no way that shot should have went in. And I'm sorry I didn't make a video of that because I saw it, but I was going back and forth. We was losing 3-0. So you know, I am a Wild fan. And so I'm like feeling it, you know, and my Wild's getting their ass kicked on the first game. So they split. Hey, B Brown, thank you for joining me. So, you know, it just go back to show you times you want to help people because you're just cool. You know, you're just cool and being cool. And the dude was sitting there thinking, really, this is what he was thinking. I should be in this position. I should be sitting in this car. I should be living in the neighborhood in Eden Prairie and not this little apartment. Well, you ain't me, baby. Harden out here playing like it's his last dance. I'm still sticking to my guns. I'm still saying they're gonna let me play. They're gonna put my mask on him. Remember Jim Carrey played the mask. They're gonna let him play. So if he get beat, you know, I'm still saying the Warriors too. So maybe they're gonna give it to the Warriors again. We'll see. But it just show you try to help people and the people hate on you helping them. I mean, how does that make any sense? People will hate on you and you trying to help them, and they hating on you while you helping them. What sense does that make with our own people? What sense does that make with our own people? you help someone and they hate on you for helping them. You know, no, you can't be nice to people. You can't. That's what's killing me. You know, here I am. I want this brother to succeed too. It's no thing to, go out 40 minutes out of my way to help you. And then I get just hate from him for helping him. And this is like we was doing betting pools and shit. So he had taken, like, I hadn't given him the couple dollars to play the football pool. So it's like $2. I had taken him back and forth to work for 2 weeks. He hadn't given me a penny. Going 40 minutes out of my way. He hadn't given me a penny, and he was sweating me for $2. And so soon as I said, now, wait a minute. You sweating me for $2? I've been taking you back and forth to work for 2 weeks, and you ain't gave me shit. He's like, oh, I was going to pay you when I get paid. So didn't the ride cost more than $2? But I just show you how you try to be nice to help people ain't even worth it sometimes. It ain't even worth helping people sometimes. Yeah, I ain't you and you ain't me. There you go. There you go. There you go. There you go. You're right, Valerie. That's it. That's it. That's it. Now, Valerie, what did you want? Let me see. Valerie, you didn't send me size. So Barbara wants the wild, which, yeah, right on. I'm going out to the Mall of America, I think tomorrow. I want Long John Silvers. But Valerie, you got to give me size and email me size. And if you want short sleeve, because it's summer, so short sleeve. So I can send that off to you. ACWE, yeah, it's sad. Hey, Brother James, thank you for joining me. So I just show you sometime, you want to help brothers. And now I've given European cats rides home, never had those issues. We laugh and joke, never had that. Well, here I am trying to help a brother, and that's the Haiti guy. So that's ain't even worth it sometimes. Better off just saying, fuck you, figure it out. And that's what it taught me. It's like, after that, I was like telling motherfuckers, figure it out. You got to figure it out, baby. You got to Uber. Uber your ass to work. And then insult me, not dropping him off at his house. Like I'm going to be so mad at him. I'm going to sit outside the house. Well, matter of fact, he don't know that one day I just parked. I dropped him off and instead of I dropped him off at the bridge, you get off the expressway. He would jump out because he didn't want me to see where he lived. He didn't know that at the light, instead of turning left to get back on the highway, I went straight. I watched him walk in his house. I knew exactly what building he lived in. I knew the nigga's name, so I was able to read where he lived. I got out the car. I was like, see, I know where you live. But I ain't petty like that. It ain't like I'm going to just stalk you because you ain't shit. I ain't going to stalk you because you ain't shit. Yeah, I would gladly give you, I would gladly pay you Tuesday for a burger today. Yeah, that's how he did me. That's how he did me. He swept me off $2 for playing in the football pool. I'm like, buddy, you owe me at least $20. So give me $18. So yeah, James, it's ridiculous how people will treat you. And as I said, it make you don't even want to be cool, especially brothers. It's like, why is it brothers? It's like the last 2-3 years, the only static I've had been from brothers. The only motherfuckers I really wanted to shoot lately been brothers. Why? Why have I had problems with brothers like that? So, but other than that, it's been smooth. Things have really been good. I got to put my daughter's basketball hoop. I just got to put the gold on. I keep getting her, Mom, I'm going to just go buy the sand. I'm like, every day, did you buy the sand? Did you buy the sand? Did you buy the sand? Because I'm not going to put the hoop up without the sand. And I'm not putting water in it because if you put sand in it, you can leave it up all year. You can just put it to the side where the wind don't blow it down. But if you put water in it, you got to drain it out. No, just put sand in it. So we're going to put the hoop up. I ain't got to see her in a couple of days since I've been working, which is weird for her. She's not used to me working. Oh, but we got my daughter iPhone 11 Max. Yeah, because we had a deal where we've had Verizon for what, 20 years, and they was like, just pay the bill, get the phone free, and the phone's still 500 and some bucks. So she got her phone early. She got her phone. The hoop was for Easter, the phone kind of for her birthday in August. So she's my son City. He sit there, Roby's like, she's on Snapchat, Dad. Why is she on Snapchat? And he's like, I'm a blocker from my stories. I'm like, yeah, well. And my mother's like, so you're buying her a phone now? Why does she have a phone now? And she had a phone before. She had another phone. So she had one of my other phones. So I think the Willie Lynch syndromes is all time high, even in the present time. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Sometimes it really don't make sense. It really don't make sense. And that's why a lot of the brothers, like Sly say and Truth Tellers say, it's like as a cooperative, it's no reason to try to cooperate. It's no unity at all. It's too much haterism, jealousy, and all that. I mean, how many stories we've heard where you'll see a person somewhere and just got jury and he's calling people, looking at you. Because I ask a person look at me too long, unless they ask me, it's like, oh, is that motivate? But if they look at me more and don't have no question, I'm like, what is you looking at me for? I am that bold. I'm like, why are you looking at me? You know me from somewhere? You know me? Like, don't fucking even look at me. That's how I be have to deal with young dudes. It's like, what you looking at me for? You don't know me. Because if you don't, a lot of people be out of the pocket. Don't think you can. Oh, and let me tell you, I'm going to talk shit about my friend. Well, really, it's my son's friend. So it's kind of cool. I'll tell the whole story. It's kind of cool. He's cool. Being like this has been my son's friend since they like in second grade. Michael has been friends with one of the natives that live on the reservation. He is Michael's main guy. He's my son's friend. But this guy, he's paying, I've said this before, he's paying Michael's college. He's paid 2 years of Michael's college so far, pays his college, because Michael, like, abandoned by his mother, was living with his dad. But he bought Michael a $10,000 Audi truck. Give me the line. I don't remember which, but it was nice. Like, he paid 10 for it. And Michael is a silly motherfucker. So Michael's high. He's always high, but Michael's high. When it was really cold, he goes in the store and he leaves the goddamn car running. He's like, I ran in the store, and first thing I asked him, was you high? And so, because when he said he got his car stolen, I'm like, how? No, this idiot left his car running. So, of course, somebody jumped in it. It was stolen for about 3 months. He ain't got it back yet because, number one, he ain't got a key. They took the catalytic converter. So he went to the impound yard. And matter of fact, I saw another car today that somebody had stole. It was a M-Class Mercedes, and somebody had dumped it because I was like we had 3 flat tires. Because on my way to work, I was like, damn. And it was gone when I went. But this is Michael. Because matter of fact, did they just get back? Trying to think. They went to the game tonight. They went to the game the other night. Yeah, they went to the game the other night in Phoenix. They went to the game tonight. So Michael and the native dude is in Phoenix. Steven, I think, is his name. But Michael is goofy. He's goofy. Yeah, stole this shit. Let's say medium or large, anything with yellow or red, I would take. Okay, bet. Okay, yeah. Medium or large, okay. You still got to send me your stuff so I can send it out. So, and I'm going to the Crystal store tomorrow because that's near the mall too. I'm a little, not really out the way, but near the mall. So on my way to the mall, I'll go to the Crystal stop because I haven't been to their new store. They've got a bigger store. So yeah, and I'll send some more crystals out, and I'll pick up some more of this too. Send some of this out too. Now Palo Alto is kind of strange, but you just, you make an intention and you just kind of it doesn't really burn like regular wood. It just kind of smokes a little bit. So just know that it'll clear some areas. And then one is sweetgrass and one is sage. So I'll pick up some more of this. I might have to go on the reservation. I kind of like their stuff. It's a little fresher. So I might have to go to the reservation and get more of that. But yeah, so then talk to the post office. So I got the right boxes to send the hats and the shirts out. But yeah, Michael is silly. But I mean, I don't know. The dude gave him another car to use. He's driving one of them Chrysler Seabrings convertibles, so it ain't like he's without a car. Because he spent, I'm trying to think, what is this, Wednesday? They took off. He spent Friday. He spent Thursday. He just left Sunday. So he was here from Thursday on, and then they flew out whenever the game was. He flew out. So maybe he flew out Saturday. I forget. But he stayed here 4 or 5 days. So I know Michael forever. Michael's dad abandoned him when he was like in 10th or 11th grade. So Michael stayed with me for what, 3-4 months. I mean, literally his dad moved out and moved with his girlfriend. Just left this boy. There's what? I think the boys was in 10th grade, 11th grade. So Michael lived with us for like 3-4 months. So well, Michael's cool. But Michael's goofy. He's really goofy. Christmas, we're all at my ex's house, and I always talk about her with cockeyed Kurt, and so Michael's buzzed, a little drunk. We all drinking. It's Christmas, and Kurt's right there. Michael comes up to me, cockeyed Kurt, pointing at Kurt, just laughing and shit. Kurt's looking. He ain't gonna do shit. I mean, this woman, my ex is beating him up, so he ain't gonna catch no fade fucking with me. Plus, my boys was all around too. But Michael's like, cockeyed Kurt. There she is, Jody. How are you? Good work. Good work on your videos. Oh my goodness, good work. Good work. And I am not a copycat person. I don't these current events. I try to stay away from that shit because what people don't tend to forget is it's like fish with bait. It's like fish with bait. And people always want fish with bait. People got to take the bait. I don't take the bait. Cockeyed Kurt. Oh, yeah. She smacked Kurt in the shit with... He sounds like my uncle calling this dude Knuckles because he has rheumatoid arthritis. Oh man, their Bob, like Keelan was with him one day and she smacked him and Kurt's eye went flying and shit. War of the Gods, where they got the witches that just got one eye they all can see and shit. The dude knocks the eye out there, and out the hand, and the witches can't find the eye and shit, and he's holding the eye up and shit, by the roots. Oh my goodness. Last time I heard of Kurt, she was like, yeah, Kurt just gave me $20 to clean or do something to his feet. I don't know. She was doing something to his feet, scrubbing his feet or some shit. He saw, yeah. So these are the funny family shit that we go through. And I just laugh and I say, what do you always say? You got to blow that shit out. That's it. But things are beautiful. The weather is getting nice. It was 55, 60 today. I turned the air on today. I was like, oh, air. The daddy wagon air quit working. I bought that car and I bought the daddy wagon and I had it for 6 years. Let me see. I bought the daddy wagon in 2014 and traded it for the Taurus. Yeah, so I had a daddy wagon 5, 6, 7 years. The air quit working like year 2 of owning it. And I didn't want to pay to get all that shit fixed because I had a sunroof and windows. And another thing about living here in Minnesota is the weather's bad so often that we rarely had a sunroof open and we rarely had the windows down. I mean, it's like, that's something I don't get. So, okay, it gets a little warm, but all of a sudden you still keeping the windows up. I like to let that shit come in. So, and the Taurus doesn't have a sunroof, but because I looked at a LaCrosse And dude was like, yeah, you can get this lacrosse. Lacrosse had the double sunroof, 10 or 11 speakers, but the timing chain was gone, which means a major engine repair. And I looked at the two cars. I see thousands of Tauruses every day. I don't see very many lacrosses. So I'm like, yeah. You're welcome, Jody. You do good work. I hope everybody checks Jody's work out, subscribes to her for sure. For sure. I want to have you on sometime if you want to talk and rap and get on to the Galactic Patio. Lorenzo, my man, and 1,000 grand. What's happening? Oh yeah, today was nice. The weather's gonna be nice all week. It's gonna be in the 70s next week. So we finally got that. We finally got that hawk off of us. So we deserve it. I'm about to bring my patio furniture in. I've got to get all my cushions and wash all my cushions and stuff. No more dogs around here because normally we got a tree out in front of the building, and we would in the first few years, but then they got dogs, and then COVID, that lazy ass bitch did, and she was a bitch that lived downstairs from me, just let her dog shit everywhere, wouldn't clean it up because it was that COVID shit, and she knew she couldn't be put out. And so we quit using this area, but now she's gone. No one in the building has dogs. So I'm gonna bring all my patio furniture and put it back under the tree. And yeah, so we starting to have summertime festivities. We saw 86. We saw 86. Oh wow, you got summer. It was when I went to work, it was 58, 59, 60, something like that. When I got off, it was still about the same. We looked at the thing, looked at some pictures from last year. We had leaves. We ain't got no leaves on our trees. Our trees have no leaves yet. Last year at this time, everything was green already. Not this year. We had 70-degree days in April last year. Not this year. Not this year. It was freaking sweet, getting still snow in April. So, yeah. So finally, the Great White North. And I get that from the old football shit. What was his name? Fuchera. He used to do all the NFL stuff, and he called this the Great White North. So I always use that. I call this the Great White North because it is a lot of great, and it is a lot of whites. That's about all that's up here, really. Out of 3.5 million, it is 3 million of them. So we're outnumbered. And I've seen Ukrainians here. I've seen Afghanis here. But this is not a very populated state. And most of the people, this state, I think, only has 11 million people. No, not even that. Not even that. I think it's only 7 or 8 million people in the whole state. 3.5 million. I think it's 5 to 6 million people in the state, and 3.5 million live in the Twin Cities. And the Twin Cities is something like 30 counties, something like that. Like I can drive from here and go an hour. I'm still in the Twin Cities, basically. You know, St. Paul is the Twin Cities and all the suburbs that's going to the border towns. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked witch is dead. What did he say? The Funkadelics say, ding dong, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked witch has lost our heads. Lost her heads. Y'all remember that Funkadelic song without George Clinton? The people had the rights to the name Funkadelic. Yeah, ding dong, the witch is dead. Ding dong, the wicked witch has lost our head. Lost her head. All the guitar players from the Funkadelics. Not Eddie Hazel, though. This was another group of Funkadelics. So I'm tired. I ain't gonna lie. I'm a little tired for tonight. I'm gonna see how long I can feel enthusiastic. Get back into it. I didn't really make a video. Again, I missed that Curry shot last night or the other night watching hockey. Hockey comes, the Wild come before the NBA. So if I'm watching the Wild, I'm turning back and forth, and I didn't bring the other monitor in here to watch the game, nor was I watching on my phone. So sorry about all the manipulated shots. And I was at work for the first one, which sounds funny, working for the man. And the people are just so nice. The people are so nice. I mean, Minnesota people in general are nice folks. And so, yeah. So it's cool. It's really cool. These days I just been cool and being cool. And so it's been joyful. Been joyful. Been joyful. My son is doing as well as he can do. So, I mean, he still got some issues, but slowly we trying to resolve them. Uh, how's it feel to work? I would rather be home. I would rather be home, but I don't mind. I don't mind. Give me something to do. Sitting here looking at these cats, the cats wanting to jump on me, gets me out the house. Yeah, so I don't mind. I don't mind. Um, yeah, I don't mind. Little extra chips don't hurt. So it'll make it a fun summer. The work is easy. It ain't dirty. It don't smell. How you go to work and it's like I always in Michigan, I always worked in factories. Even though I was management, I still worked in the damn factory. So even though I had a lab when I was quality manager, I still had a lab, but you still had to walk through the factory. So it made your nicer clothes still smell like factory. This ain't the case. All them books in there, it don't smell like nothing. So it's smooth. I like where I can work by myself. Don't nobody fuck with me. I like that. I like that. You just do your work. You run into a problem, they help you out. That's what I like. Leave me the fuck alone. No, I ain't got nothing to talk about. The women giggle with each other, but the dudes just go about their work. That's what I like. Don't bother me. I can't cope. Hey, brother Sean, what's happening? Hey, JR, what's happening? What happened to my other channel? Yeah, they took that one down right when Biden came into office. Was that 2019 going into 20? Biden was in office for like 4 or 5. Biden was still the president elect when they took my channel down. So that was 20. Yeah, 19 going into 20, I think they took my channel down. And all I really said is when my doctor got that poison put in her, she said she was okay. She said when her co-doctor got it put in, he was sick for 3 or 4 days. And about 20 seconds after that, the screen went like haze. I know y'all don't remember the old TVs when you couldn't have a channel or when TV got cut off at 3 or 4 in the morning. That's what they did to my shit. Well, thank you, Valerie. Thank you. It has helped. My doctors was like, well, we think it'll help you mentally. Just get out and do something to see if you can do it. And my problem is I drop shit. I have trouble dropping stuff. I have trouble holding on to stuff. So I don't try to grab too many books at a time because I still drop stuff all the time. I have to be very careful when I go to supermarkets. As I told the story before, I like when I was first going to supermarkets, I was always dropping cans. And you drop a can, it don't mean shit. The can just clink. But when I started dropping glass, I was like, damn, I do this shit all the time. Every time I go to the supermarket, I damn drop something. And so I just don't have the hand strength anymore. I can still shoot, but I would break my hand probably punching somebody. Don't mean I wouldn't punch them, but I would probably break my hand doing it. Did you hear about the deaths on the USS George Washington? All the people moving off the ship. Vaguely. I was watching the money. Oh my goodness. You got me. So I always talk about gold. Gold has dropped in 2 weeks. Gold has dropped $1,000. Gold is trading around $1,800. Now silver has dropped from 26, a high of 26 in the last 3-4 weeks. Silver went back up to 23 when I left. But gold was up to 1980. Gold was up down to 1850, something like that today. So, hey, Mr. Lamborghini Leglock, how you doing? You notice how scripted this NBA is? Every time I watch the game. Just like what I said in Lobo's chat, Dave Chappelle getting attacked, another form of trying to ban free speech. That's a good point. That's a good point. It appeared like it was set up. Lobo really, and I was at work when Lobo came on, so I was catching a little bit what he's. I got to finish watching it, but I think it was scripted. Just like that other thing was scripted. Yeah, because they want comedians. See, what people forget is comedians be the conscience of the people, and they don't want the conscience out anymore. The comedians is the most realist. In some ways, the comedians are the court jester for the nation, because they can put it in a way where it stings, but you laugh when it stings. And that's what comedians are. And so that's why the attack on comedians. They don't want comedians speaking that truth anymore. And so that's what it's all about. Just so again, I don't jump on the bandwagon and fuck with these current events too much, because it's too much of actors. Remember, they're all actors. And anytime you see actors, it was just like I say about that Sharon Tate shit and the Manson shit, was really to get the people to come out of the communes, come out of the desert, be back a part of the of the community again. You know, get jobs. You don't need to raise your children where you educate them. You don't need to eat your own food. Move back in the city. That's what Manson was about. Have you heard of Dolores Cannon? No, that don't ring a bell. George Washington was deployed to protect New York after the September 11th attack. Wow. I didn't know that. I did not know that. And that was some more BS. That, if any of y'all old enough to remember the 9/11 attacks, that was the first time you saw the CGI. Even the people alive, that's all. Even the people in New York, that's what they saw. They saw CGI. They did not see a plane run into them buildings. Because during World War II, a plane hit the Empire State Building. Look it up. A plane hit the Empire State Building, and it just blasted where it hit. That's all. The plane was still stuck in the thing. The plane was still stuck in the building. So that was where so that proves that they will kill, that this country will kill their own people. That's what 9/11 proved, that the government will kill their own people. And don't get me talking about Vietnam, how both sides just would throw people out there just to get killed. I mean, you're talking about cowboys and Indians. Vietnam was cowboys and Indians. They struck baby boomers in the jungle to play cowboys and Indians. War is about taking the other's capital and nothing else. You take ground, you advance, you take ground. They ain't do that in Vietnam. Did it all in World War II. Did that in Korea, where they was on the border of China, and then China sent them people in. And I think MacArthur was right. They should have bombed the shit out of the Chinese. Harry Truman stopped them. And MacArthur called them. MacArthur said, throw them atom bombs at them. And you know what they said? Well, we only had 2. That's what he said. We only had 2 atom bombs. What sense does that make? MacArthur said, bomb these Chinese here. We'll never have to worry about China again. China didn't have a bomb. So that tells you it was probably napalm and not atom bombs. But they want to scare you. It's very ironic that trans man made a tweet saying Dave Chappelle next, like it's Bill Goldberg and Chris Rock was here was Will Smith. Yeah, I caught a little bit of that. Lorenzo. The new owner put that insurance on the Twin Towers. Yeah, made billions. Days before, made billions. And you got multi-floors in that building that was empty. And you notice what they did, though. People don't realize this. One of the gold exchanges was in them buildings. Y'all remember that. One of the gold exchanges in America was in one of them buildings. And so they went in there and got that gold. I don't know if y'all remember that. They went in there. They had military people watching that area so nobody could go in there and loot. And they went in there and found that gold. They wasn't looking for bodies. They was looking to find that gold because it was a gold exchange. Was the Empire State Building, right? Killing 14, exactly, Jody. Yes, during World War II. Yeah, and it didn't blow the whole building up. So, uh, what is it like going into a past life? Hmm. It is interesting that, as I said, I talk about, seeing out of Kennedy's eyes. I've seen out of a couple other young people's eyes. Um, there's a movie I've talked about before called The Eyes of Laura Marsh, where this dude is killing people, but she's able to possess. It's like he possesses her, she ends up possessing him while he kills. So technically, it's like Laura is killing people because she is seeing while the killing is happening. That is kind of, it's not that dramatic, but it's like interesting that as a step in, because that's really what it kind of is. It's kind of like a step in. How do I want to describe this? As a step in, it's kind of new at first. It's really new. You're like, you realize that you are seeing out of this person in the past or even a current time. And for a second there, it's like, whoa, this is how this mug looks. And you kind of can even hear some of his thoughts or some of the thoughts coming. So at first, it's really new and it's different. But after a while, you get used to seeing how the scenes are coming and even how whatever year or time you stepped into, how people lived. That's the interesting part is you forget because you don't lose who you are. You are experiencing you being them in a way, stepping into them. And so that's the best I can put it. So I went through the subway that was connected to the Twin Towers after the fact. It was eerie. I bet all that death. What, three to 5,000 men, 1,000 people? I mean, first time I heard that name, Laura Marsh, was in a Redman song. Yeah, it was a movie. It's called The Eyes of Laura. Faye Dunaway. They played Bonnie and Clyde, or she played Mommy Dearest. Most of y'all probably remember from Mommy Dearest, but she played Bonnie and Clyde too. She was real cute in Bonnie and Clyde. But yeah, The Eyes of Laura Marsh. They may seem like they made a new version, but it's a movie about a step in, kind of. I can only imagine so much bloodshed with the towers. Yeah, yeah. And then want to go over there and take that oil. You see, they did the same thing to Noriega in Panama. Noriega fought for these mugs in World War II in the Philippines. He fought for them in World War II in the Philippines. He's working with the CIA moving cane. He's working with the CIA moving cane. Remember Blow? They go down to the Philippines. He stupidly. Now this is how stupid the movie Blow was. This dude builds a house out in LA or out in California. He builds a house. So you telling me I got 22 million in cash. I'm building the house. You telling me that you're not building a safe? You're not building a safe in this house you built to put this money in? What did John Wick show you? John Wick concreted over one of his safes. Y'all remember that in John Wick? John Wick concreted over a safe. So he had to bust his floor up to get to his safe. So you telling me you couldn't have put 17, 18 million like that under your house and kept a couple million around the house? Makes no sense. It ain't believable. Is Earth the school for the soul? And how do we graduate? Really, this experience is a regression. It's less than. Again, we got to talk. We got to get emotional. We got to feel. So if you're talking about soul, you don't have any of that. There's no emotion. You just deal with what's real. That's not even the right word I want to look at. You vibrate on the positive frequencies. getting into Dr. Valentine and Wes Paneri's work is when you have so many positive energies, the energies do tend to be together. Positive energies just stay together. And so it's harder to put negativity in that when you have all these positive energies just together. And so the positive energies, there's no negative that can really penetrate these positive energies, however, how they move throughout the universe. It's not a neutron, neon. Oh, I keep forgetting that thing. But the thing that comes out of black holes is the fastest thing that moves throughout the universe. The only reason they know about this stuff, and it's called it's not a neuron, but it moves through the earth, and they find it in Antarctica as a blue streak. And so this is really what we are. We are unlimited in that. And so we really just can go free as whatever space there is. We can go free through whatever it is. And so if you look at it like that, you know that you're unlimited in what your abilities are. Now, Dr. Valentine said probably 10, 15 years ago, Earth is looked at as a prison planet. In some ways, that is right, because you do feel a prisoner in this body sometimes. You're very limited spiritually. And then the English language is nothing but a blocking language. This English that we speak. At the end of the day, you got this. That thing. This is the thing. I just did a thing. All these spells people keep passing on to hold you down. I was watching the news dude. The dude was very eloquent. And then he just well, at the end of the day, here you just gave this very elegant speech, and then you threw the spell in that had nothing to do with it. The end of the day had nothing to do with what his rap was. But motherfuckers throw that filler word in there, which is a spell. You don't hear me say that shit. That thing. I even try to catch myself when I say the thing. And that's a spell that Biden put out. The thing. That's a Biden spell. So how you graduate is be here now. Don't buy into fear. Don't fear death. Don't fear death. I mean, the greatest thing you understand death is, you look at all them bugs, you step on one, there's still a million of them around you. You only step. Remember when you was little, you see the ant wars and you would just start squashing them? You ain't put a dent in them. It's still a million more under the dirt. That's kind of what it is. Do you think it was like Operation Blue Beam? Yeah. I caught rainbows doing that. The double rainbows. I showed on my other channel. I showed pictures of the double rainbows. We were seeing them all across the nation. They was doing those holograms, double rainbows. How is it that I here in Minnesota am seeing the exact same rainbow that somebody's seeing across the country? How is that? How is that possible? How rainbows don't? What was it? Rainbows. What is it? Let me get this right. I can't make the point I want to make. But the way rainbows are, you could see these things was fake. You could see they was fake. So yeah, Jody, definitely. Oh, that's right. Doctor Strange comes out tomorrow. Tomorrow night, you can go see Doctor Strange. Cinco de Mayo. Doctor Strange Into the Multiverse is really good. Visually capturing, but tells a lot of spiritual gems that went over people's heads. Yes, here it comes out tomorrow. I'm gonna go see it tomorrow. Thank you for reminding me. So you got to see that today. Okay, it comes out here tomorrow. I mean, it opens up on the 6th, I think. But the early viewing, if you want to see it in is it 3D or whatever, the noise is louder. Okay, I'm gonna definitely check that out. I got a picture of Doctor Strange in my bedroom. The thing that came with the video, the 3D card. Because that's, what we're seeing what the baby boomers grew up on, and we're seeing them in real life. And so these deep kind of concepts, and it ain't just, anime is deep. The comic books in the 60s was deep. And it gave, vivid imaginations to these possibilities. I mean, still a lot of this space stuff and not necessarily dimensional stuff. So, do you believe the earth is currently going through a shift in consciousness? Now, come on, Mr. Lamborghini Langlock. I do not believe in anything. I do not believe in anything. I know. Is the earth going through a consciousness? Since 2012, which they feared, which was really a new cycle because they was, now you don't think they studied the Mayan calendar? This is what their scaredness was of 2012 because they felt they was losing control. They was losing control because we're getting more energy from the central sun that's in the universe. And so we are bombarded with true energies from the central sun in the universe, the other suns. There's more, like these stars is suns. That's what they don't want to tell you. So a lot of it is opening up to that. And so we're getting bombarded with that. It was really good. It's really good. In New Zealand, we got it early, but no big premiere like your country, brother. Okay. Okay. And Sean, I'm going to send your stuff out too. But I'm going to go to Crystal Shop and pick you up some crystals. And then, send your stuff out to New Zealand. Shoot, ship me up here a kangaroo to beat people up. I'd have a bodyguard as a kangaroo. We are thought experience on the multiverse, Awood. What are your thoughts, experience on the multiverse? That's a good thing, a good question. I'll say this. My answer would be this. Like earlier when I was meditating, I close my eyes and I start creating. I mean, you really see where you're creating. Again, I'm beyond spinning. If you meditating and you seeing that, you got to get beyond that. If you seeing the golden ratio, you even got to get beyond that. But as you close your eyes and you start creating, a lot come check you out. Unless you have the right protections. And guides, your guides come check you out too. And your guides is looking, different ancestors come looking. So that's what you can experience. That's what you can experience. And I want to have everything well enough and the equipment well enough where I can show other people, can even sit with other people, maybe even through this, and show you how you can experience the multiverse. Because again, when they come in, they ain't all coming from the same place. All your ancestors and your guides, it ain't like they live in the same place. They're coming from different areas when they come in. And then there's, they want to see where you're at. They come in and it's like, whoa, what is this one doing in our area? So we experience that, but it takes practice so you can experience that. Because again, once you get in a certain state or a certain level of meditation and breathing, you can experience what they're talking about, but it'll be your own experience and you'll start seeing it. Because it ain't like they're all like, well, it's my turn to come in. It's my turn. No, these are coming in from different, where they park is all different places. So, I don't believe in anything, future vision. I don't believe in anything. I experience and know. Do you believe morality to be real is another form of imprisonment on the earth plane? Is it possible to enter and exit the matrix at will? Absolutely. Yeah, you can leave this thing at will. You can leave your body at will. That's what meditation is. Meditation, you can leave your body. You get the breathing and meditation. You should practice leaving your body. And it shows you that death ain't real. And your body will continue to do what it's supposed to do. Like somebody was talking about the air. You think air call itself air? You think trees call themselves trees? This is what English they put on this. So yeah, you can exit it. As I said, you can be a step in this czar stuff. you get to messing with these people, and you get to messing with the czar. You get to messing with them, and kind of have an understanding of that. Yeah, you can all experience that, and you can kind of come into your body and leave your body at will. Definitely, you can. I don't want to get that deep in it. That'd be more confusing. Yeah, that'd be a little more confusing. Is it an imprisonment? Yeah, probably, probably. I mean, Dr. Valentine said that, why would high beings want to come here? I mean, what is spiritually here where high beings want to come here? Really wouldn't. They really wouldn't want to come here. Shot brother. Kangaroo bodyguard. We have kiwis with no wings. I'm just talking shit. That's all. Does your guide stay with you your whole life? Well, yes and no. Yes and no. Because there are certain guides that you have when you're a child that what they're good at is guiding children. Now, some of them will stay with you to a certain point, but at a certain point, that is what they're good at. That is what that ancestor guide is good at. They're good at guiding children in the family. But once you move to a certain point, they'll drop off. And again, if you, like they say with most children, children's imagination will go away. Well, of course, when the imagination going away, the guides would fall off too, because there's nothing for the guides to cling on to. The people aren't even receiving the information anymore. As a child, you're using your imagination so much where you can receive them. But at a certain point, as you become adult, or if you get locked into religion, you won't even be receiving what the guidance is given. That's why I was hitting a person on Facebook talking about with religion. What do I say? Demons can do good work. So most, especially Catholics, believe in demons. And so their demons can help them time to time, because again, you're going to reject the demons if the demons don't help every now and then. And so you have a religion that practices worshiping demons. That's just what they do. So some could. My grandfather seemed to, as I got older and after they tried to kill me in Michigan, my grandfather started coming to me and tell me it was certain moves I could make and was going to be safe and be okay. My brother hit me early this week, or maybe late last week. And my brother was like, Grandpa came through. And I'm like, yeah, he definitely, for a guy who never showed any spirituality our whole life, he is definitely one of our guys now that we're older. So my grandfather taught, this is where fathers are important. Fathers teach boys, their sons, how to love, how to play with children. That is the role of father. It's not just the nurturing part, it's really relating to children. Because with the fathers, the mothers hug and kiss, the fathers throw down, throw around, spin, tickle, chase. That is our roles. The mothers hold and kiss and want to hold you. And you really, she don't want you to run around. The father is in motion. The father is throwing you down, throwing you against the wall, tickling you, chasing you, tackling you. This is what the father's role is. And we see a lot of young brothers that don't have that. All they have is that mother holding them tight. And so the balance is off in a lot of these people. So some can, to answer your question, some can, but most drop off at a certain point. As you elevate your guides, you get different guys that come in and help as you elevate, because like they say is there are times that you won't get the messages. Like some of my cards I read, sometimes you won't get the messages. It's like the guides will be trying to give you stuff and you ain't picking up the cues. You ain't seeing the crows that's right there saying, hey, you got to pay attention today. You ain't hearing it. You ain't seeing it. You seeing that crow and ain't paying no attention to it. So some do, some don't. I know you say blacks are the most deceived people. That is a curse from slavery, or blacks have been cursed themselves. No, I ain't gonna say we cursed. I ain't gonna really say we cursed like that. That's not a generational culture thing. It is a we shoot ourselves in the foot kind of thing. We take all this trauma and we keep building on top of trauma. It's like you try to build a city and the city is on top of this nuclear waste. And that's how we tend to seem to build. And so eventually it's going to blow up or poison somewhere. And as a people, what we do. That's, it breaks my heart when I study Pontiac, I study Tecumseh. And, these brothers were saying, hey, if you do not help me stop these motherfuckers right here, they're going to bulldozer everything and take the whole country. So we have to make a stand. But they would go to the Cherokee, get a Cherokee some trinkets. Cherokee don't care nothing about Cherokee. We're comfortable. We're eating. We're getting what the great white father is giving us. We don't care what you do to them, not knowing that eventually you get bulldozed over too. And that's what happened. We have selfish, divide and conquer, not understanding that it's all one. We all have the same common plight. So where we curse ourselves is if one is getting fed, they say, fuck everybody else. That's basically how it is. Hey, Brisk Clown, good morning. Thank you for joining. So the war was lost a long time ago. So now the only thing we can really do, if we do it together, is raise our spirituality where you ain't got to fight it no more. Because that's really all you have. You had a moment. But that's the one thing that you can, and it's a lot of blocks from the spirituality. That ain't a given. It's distractions. Oh, sorry. That was a lot of cigar juice that just went down. So the best thing that we can do is you work on self. You work on self, and you influence the people that you can influence. That's the best you can do. You influence who you can influence, and that's it. That's it. And so if you have 10 people that all can be like minds, and you all can start knowing and staying in the present moment and not going to all these distractions, that's it. And when it's time to check out of this place, you check out with not any attachment. Not any, I need more time. I was watching The Godfather. He says, Michael, there's not enough time. Well, there's always enough time. It's like it was never about the time. It was like I'm with my father right now, and this is all we need, is this understanding right now. And too often we don't realize that. Is the moment is all you have. And so when it's time to check out, the same way, if you're about to get hit by a Mack truck, okay, I'm going out. That's fine. It's like I told my mother. They tell me what did that dude Lumpy, whatever the Hispanic chubby dude said his dad went, or maybe it wasn't him, it was somebody else, said dad went in the doctor's office and the doctor said he had cancer. He said, no, I don't. And it's almost really like that. No, I don't. And why would I let them inject all this poison in me so I can have a few more years here? That would kill all your spirituality. So is it really worth it? Is it really worth killing your spirituality? Because that's the true part of this, is your spiritual being. It ain't this. And I ain't saying everybody do like Jim Jones and drink the Kool-Aid and go lay down somewhere. That's a bind. That's a bind. You following some crazy person, and that's a bind. Because you're bound with him and everybody else. So he's doomed you. He's doomed you spiritually. So that ain't the way to do it. Or like what was the people in San Francisco that all was in the bunk beds and shit and all killed themselves because they said the mothership was coming? You ain't got to get in the spaceship to go in space. That's what I'm saying with meditation and stuff. You can see that's the true space. Because that's the only thing that moves. This body don't move. When this body's done, it don't move. It stay there. They want to put you in a casket. They don't even want you to be the part of Simon Magnus, the Holy Fire. Motherfucker asked me today, dude called me. He was like, man, who's the baddest motherfucker you ever heard of? It's Simon Magnus. Simon Magnus is the baddest motherfucker I ever heard of. A motherfucker that could fly. When they get Superman and Neo to bend down, that's Simon Magnus. Simon Magnus, before he would fly, would go down and speak to the earth and then shoot up like a rocket. He is the only known person in our history that had human flight. Not that Pythagoras where they got so close with the wing. No, this motherfucker didn't need nothing. He didn't need anything to fly. He bent down like they showed Neo do, which is a copy of Simon Magnus. So he was born on Earth, had two regular parents, but yet he could fly. They tell you got to get in some tin can to fly. Oh, yes, definitely. Definitely English is a curse. What they call it? Humpty Dumpty sat on a wall. Hans Christian Andersen, that kind of shit. The Brothers Grimm, that's the word I was looking for. The Brothers Grimm. That's what quantum of science say. How does row, row, row your boat? How do all of us know that? I'm 60 years old. How do y'all know that? Y'all that's 20, 30 years old. How do you know something that ain't a good story? Humpty Dumpty, Old Mother Hubbard. Why do y'all know that? Life is but a dream. Why do y'all know that? There's nothing outstanding about them songs. What keeps them going through time? These are spells. These are spells. That's what they are. And blacks were the only one cursed because of slavery, and the other races should be cursed because they were also slave too. That's a great point. That's a great point, because if you would have went back in the South during the Civil War, you'd have saw a lot of Europeans slaved by natives, by our people. Yeah. The real slavery was, as I showed with this book, Reconstruction. After Reconstruction, that was the real slavery. That was really the slavery we hear. Ring around the rosy. There you go. There you go. I seen the bill between Turtle Gang and Asir. They couldn't get the original of the word Aboriginal. They couldn't get the original of the word. Just Asir is just rambling. As I said, I talked to Turtle Gang, asked him about Asir. My brother brought it to me, and I'm asking, as I said, Cheeto Paul will tell you, I'm sorry I don't remember the Grand Sheik down in Miami's name, but he called me. Cheeto said, my cousin want to call you. And we talked about him. Now, find me his name. We can get Cheeto he'll verify that I talked to this man. This man can't say he didn't talk to me. I had a seer on 2 of my talk shoes, 2 times, selling paperwork. And what made me disgusted at him, it was a dude that handicapped. And I mean handicapped. This dude is in a wheelchair, makes $600 a month, and this man's telling him that you can get on a pay period, pay thing to pay in time for this paperwork. That made me lose all respect to him. This man couldn't even type. When he got online, he had to have the people to help him to type for him. And here's a seer telling him, well, I can put you on a pay plan to get your paperwork right. My brother tell you this. He can't lie. A seer can't lie. And so I asked Turtle Gang about it. He's like, I don't know much about the dude. What I heard, I didn't really care for him. He had to get up out of here. That's what Turtle Gang told me when I cut into him. I say, what's up with this dude? Now he making shows with this dude. You had nothing to say about him then, but now you got a lot to say about him. And I'm going to say this. I've seen Turtle Gang switching. He acting like all them brothers in New York, because, the ones that the Pan-Africans and Carameo and them took them dudes down and just did the same scams they was doing. So now Turtle Gang, I believe in all Dr. Leakey shit and all that out of African and the first skull. Fuck they science. You don't need they science. Now, I've said before, Turtle Gang gave me the time walking papers. And I run with that shit. Turtle Gang can't say he a time walker. He don't practice this. It didn't lead him to all this shit. It didn't lead him to the Mayan information, to the Olmec information. It didn't lead him none of that. I ain't just take the papers and stop and like, this is the golden ticket. No. Shit, I got to reading his shit, Jose Aguirre's, and I didn't stop. I started getting this shit, and I'm like, okay. And then I got to Popeye Vol. And then I learned about the hero twins. And then I learned about the creation ball field. The ball field is creation to them. It ain't a corrupted sport. Ain't a corrupted sport. Them fool teachers taught us that. They did. Scam Africans, yeah, natural immunity. Scam Africans. That's what Camaro put out some good stuff. But again, he is a Hebrew Israelite that jumped on the bandwagon. And he can't deny that. And I was hitting him with that. I was like, y'all ain't nothing but goat lovers. Like the reason why they got bad at Nick Cannon. The real story of Moses is, or one of the stories of Moses. I'm not gonna say real. One of their stories is them mugs, and this goes a little bit into Elijah Muhammad saying that they was in them caves, and Moses brought the people living out of the caves. They don't even say they was Neanderthals. Why you think they got mad at Nick Cannon for saying they was living in caves? Hell, Plato tell you. What does Plato say? Plato says it was motherfuckers living in caves that was scared of shadows. And then you study Plato. It's in this Gnostic stuff. The Plato stuff is in the Gnostic Bible too. Who was living in the caves? Who was scared of shadows? See, they want to. You gotta. They want to inject another culture and try to put it as your own. That's one thing I love about Ancestral Productions. Even though he's a Pan-African, that's okay. He puts that information out and said, and people stole a lot of that stuff out of there. So, just because we don't see the same, I see value in what he teaches. See that Moorish science temple work, making fake sovereign documents. I'm like Bobby Hemmett, fucking them dirty Moors. Y'all niggas are going to jail. Oh, and King Dolo is so funny, but King Dolo's funny, but when I did that video on Reggie Miller, and Reggie Miller's doing all that shit that King Dolo do, you watch King Dolo say the king, he is but if without watching him and being, because I talked to him, he's funny, but without watching, he sent me some of his music too, and that was shit, 13, 14, but anyway, without watching him, I wouldn't have known what Reggie Miller was doing. Because I was sitting there and I watched about 10, 11 signs. For y'all that saw my old channel, I watched Reggie Miller do 10 or 11 signs. And I'm like, wait a minute, this is that shit Dolo doing. And that's why my video, before they struck the channel down, I said, oh, wow, we whooped ass. Elliot, I think that was his name. Elliot had a hat trick. I don't throw my hat out, though, for a hat trick. Fuck that. These hats cost too much. And, they donate all them hats and stuff. They take them to the Salvation Armies. But, yeah, the Wild won tonight. They got their ass whooped the other night. They lost 3-0 the other night. And they gave us some bullshit goals. I don't even know who won between, was it the Rangers and Boston? They was in the 3 overtimes. And at the 3rd overtime, the Bruins, Goldie leaves. He just leaves. And I'm like, oh, they're about to lose. And actually, he ended up doing pretty good. But I was like, wait a minute. How you leave in the 3rd overtime? Didn't make no sense. I'm like, but then it was some game on or something. So I kept changing. Matter of fact, the overtime was so long when they went to game 2, and I forget who played in game 2. It was in the 4th period. It was in the 3rd period. That is how long the overtime was. It went through almost the whole rest of the game. So they switched to the last game, and the last game, so I don't know who won between the Bruins. Natural music. Black started hockey and country music. Well, we are responsible for almost all sports in the Americas. The Americas go all the way up to Alaska and go all the way to the islands. That's what people don't understand. We claim it all. We claim it all. We claim all the way up to Alaska and all the way down to the islands. So, of course, when it got cold, what do you think they did? Think they didn't run on the ice and got silly, tackle, and play with each other on the ice, and then one day said, hey, we can kick this thing around. So, yeah. And I mean, what is country music, though? Yeah, I've been to the Grand Ole Opry. You go to Memphis, you got to go there. It is just just music in general. And see, that's the problem is we're told to just like a certain kind of music. Now, I don't like a lot of that twangy shit. I don't like there's a tear in my beer. But, I mean, what do you think vaudeville was? You think vaudeville was just one kind of music? No, wherever you went, you would play that type of music that the crowd was coming to see you. You would play that type of music. So you go to a place that like the bluegrass kind of stuff, that's what you played. So Rangers lost in the third overtime, 4-3. Okay. Okay. I watched the shit out that game. And then I was watching something else, and I don't know if I went to bed, but no, I didn't go to bed because when I changed it and I came back, the other game was on. And I didn't watch too much of that last game. You know, I'm just a Wild fan. I like hockey in general. Oh, here you go. Here you go. If anybody asks you if you know anything about hockey, all you got to do is say yes. Pucks on the net. That's all you got to say. Pucks on the net. You just got to put the pucks on the net. That's how they say it. So they ask you, what do you think about hockey? Pucks on the net. That's all you got to say. And they'll be like, you're right. That is it. Watch. That's all you got to say. Pucks on the net. That's all they'd be like, what do you think about what? They wasn't putting pucks on the net. That's all you got to say. And they'd be like, dang, you right. You like hockey too, don't you? I like when they whoop each other's ass. Me too. All sports should have that. All sports should just still have ass whooping. What do they do when they fight in hockey? All the players on the side applaud with the sticks. They ain't took that out of hockey. It used to be in basketball. It used to be big in basketball. I mean, it was very common to watch them fight. I mean, very common in the 70s. Then Stern got in, and we know who Stern is. Then Stern cut a lot of that out. Well, the Kermit Washington punch on Rudy Tomjanovich, where he destroyed his face, was common. They always fought. The best fight is Jabbar and Ken Benson. Watch that. He elbows Jabbar, and Jabbar bends over, and Ken Benson just stands there, and Jabbar just breaks his hand and completely knocks out Ken Benson. And if I didn't tell PJ this, like the winning time, they act like they said Magic got somebody pregnant when he was with the Lakers. No, Andre Johnson, y'all can look up. Andre gotta be in his 40s. Magic got to be 63, 64. I'm saying closer to 63. Andre got to be 40. Andre was born when Magic was either a junior or a senior, but I want to say a junior or a sophomore. Andre Johnson is, well, maybe he got his mama name because he got a lot of family in Kalamazoo. But Andre, I want to say his name is Andre Johnson, but look up Magic's son, Andre. Andre wasn't born when Magic was with the Lakers. Andre was born when Magic was in college or high school. He was born when Magic was in high school. If y'all remember, Andre was in the Sprite commercial with, was it Sprite? Or it might have been Converse. But Andre was in a commercial with Magic. Andre was a younger or medium teenager. For those of you, you know. Maurice Lucas versus Chocolate Thunder. Yeah, that was messed up. That was messed up because Maurice Lucas wasn't a scorer. Dawkins was a scorer. Dawkins was 7 foot. The Blazers didn't miss Maurice Lucas. And Maurice Lucas, he passed. He was an ABA player. But yeah, got rid of a scorer defender for a dude who just played defensive rebound. That hurt them. That hurt them to get rid of him. And that made me see pro basketball. That game right there, that series right there, let Bill Walton win one. Get out of here. And then I don't think Bill Walton the 75 greatest players. They made him the 50 greatest players. One season and one good season and make Bill Walton. You know who Bill Walton is? Bill Walton is Joe Namath. That's it. Bill Walton and Joe Namath's careers is the same. Hurt most of the time. Remember when Scott Stevenson laid Eric Landros out? Scott Stevenson did that because 6 years earlier, Lindros whooped Scott Stevenson's ass. Yeah, I do remember that. Andre's both Magic's second year in the league. Was born Magic's second year in the league? Nah, that can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be right. That cannot be right. Because we was talking about Andre when I was still in high school. And Magic only 2 years ahead of me. That cannot be right. Andre got to be in his 40s. Got to be. Second year in the league? How did I know about him in high school? Maybe I'm wrong. But it seemed like Andre was born when I was in ninth grade. So that had to be 76, 77. And you say you found somewhere where Andre, they saying Andre was born in 80, 81? How did I know about Andre in 76? Well, maybe I'm wrong. Yeah, I'm telling you, Andre had to be born because Magic was paying child support in high school. Well, Magic Daddy was. The Most High B-Ball Vault on YouTube got a wide library of most NBA fights. Oh, okay. Thank you, the Most High. That is cool. That is cool. Yeah, that Kareem fight is the best. Magic came into the league as 20. Yeah, he did. Magic came into the league after his sophomore year. But I am pretty positive that Andre was born in 76 or 77. And I want to say 76. Because I wouldn't even known about him. I was gone. I wouldn't even known about Andre. If Andre was born in 81, I wouldn't even known about him because I was gone. I was gone. I left college and I left to North Carolina A&T in 79. And I already knew about Andre. So if Andre was born in 80, 81, I wouldn't have known about it. I wouldn't have known about it. Would not have known about it. But Andre had family in Kalamazoo. His girl, the girl he got pregnant, had family in Kalamazoo, relatives. And that's the only reason I know about him. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I wouldn't have known about Andre. I wouldn't have not known about him. Would not known about him. Scott Stevens, not S. Stevens. He was New Jersey Devils. Okay. Not S. Stevens. Okay. I'm pretty sure Andre was born in 76 or 77, which would make him damn near 40. He had to be 40 by now. Would make him older than 40. Because, matter of fact, I want to say Andre was a Buchanan. I want to say Andre was related to the Buchanans. That's who I want to say Andre was related to because my boy D, he's a Buchanan. Andre related to Buchanans in Kalamazoo. And again, I would not have known about Andre before I went to college. I mean, I would not have known about him. Because the last time I saw Evelyn played, I saw Evelyn twice, Evelyn Magic's sister. Evelyn played UNCG and A&T played her. So she played. So I went up to UNCG and saw her play there because she went to University of South Carolina and played ball. Evelyn was a pretty decent player. Surprised she didn't make the Olympics. But Evelyn, I want to say they played A&T. When South Carolina, A&T, seemed like South Carolina played A&T, and I got to see Evelyn on campus. But that was the last time I saw her, so that was 40-some years ago, too. She was a good player, though. She could play. Yeah, I've been watching it. You see Hulu put a new show out about Magic. They had to do something. That shit ain't making him look good at all. What George Clinton say? Why must I feel like that? Why must I chase that cat? It's the dog in me. The joke on Magic used to be girls, the way he would get girls is girls would be like, oh, Magic, you're such a good ball player. We love when you play. And he would be like, yeah, tell me more. That was the joke on Magic. Yeah, tell me more. That was his rap. Remember, I had a visit down in state, And Bug took me by Magic's room and shit. Like, he ain't going to school. He ain't like, this all you do all day? Like, shit, man, I'm about to go in the league. So, yeah, I've been watching it. Interesting about Spencer Haywood. Spencer Haywood arguably played on the best high school team ever at Detroit Pershing. Him and Ralph Simpson, dude named Ralph Simpson that played for the Denver. He played for both the Denver Rockets, which Spencer Haywood played in, and he played for the Denver Nuggets. Ralph Simpson. I knew Ralph. Went to Michigan State. Magic lied about having for the money influence he has today. Oh, absolutely. He absolutely lied about it. How that, and he had to sacrifice his son. They started shooting them hormones in his son as a baby. But I mean, what would the average person do? And all age was is to push rubber. That's all it was, to push condoms. Those who got in the condom stocks, speaking of us, created country music, most successful country musician. He had, Charlie Pride. Yep. Singing Indian. Charlie was a singing Indian. And that's what people don't realize about the Grand Ole Opry. It was black folks be up in there. You'd watch the old TV and you wouldn't think anybody liked that kind of music. My grandfather, that's the only kind of music he liked. I didn't like it, but he did. Winning Time Show Magic was a freaky freak. Yeah. Who was I listening to the other night? Was that Corey Holcomb was saying same thing. That Magic would do men and women. Will Smith too, but that was Magic's thing. Magic would do anybody, anytime. And that's when as I said before, Dr. Tucker was cheating Isaiah and all of them. That's why Isaiah turned on Magic, was because of Dr. Tucker. And Isaiah, went to Dr. Tucker's camp when I met Isaiah at 7th, 8th grade. And so, we was raised around Dr. Tucker, but Dr. Tucker cheated Isaiah, and Isaiah blamed Magic for Dr. Tucker cheating. And that's when Isaiah came in and said, hey, Magic fucking them trannies too. That's what Isaiah said. He's like, Magic might have got AIDS from fucking trannies. And it was in their choir, Isaiah. And that's why they broke up. But they broke up because Isaiah, Mark Aguirre, they felt cheated by Dr. Tucker. And they felt Magic knew Dr. Tucker was cheating them. But what they didn't know is that, Dr. Tucker cheated Magic too. Jackie Cullen's book don't mention Dr. Tucker because Magic cut him out. And then Big Dog signs all that money with him, which made no sense. He done cheated all these people. Magic had relations with the singer Jermaine Stewart. I never heard that before, but it don't surprise me. Everybody knew that was Magic's thing. Magic would get up for anybody. Just think about him old men he had to do. Magic was with it. See, that's why Kareem stayed away from the motherfuckers. Kareem didn't trust none of that shit. And they penalized him because Kareem wasn't with that weird shit. You ain't heard no weird shit with Kareem like that. This is a good ass cigar. It's strong as fuck. I am nicotined. Did you peep that Philly game? No, I was at work. I missed the early game and I didn't tape it. Had Harding looking like a fool again. Yeah, that surprised me. And I've been wrong. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised they came back. But if they don't, then I'm wrong. I still see the Warriors going in. And so maybe it's the Warriors time. Yeah, that is some foul shit. But that was the Warriors that was coming back then. I mean, back then I'm traveling around the country with sports teams. I'm running into folks and, the word was getting back about, Magic was with anybody. Shit. That shit wasn't no secret. It wasn't a secret. That's the thing. It wasn't a secret. That's why they act like Cookie didn't know and she's naive. No, that shit was not a secret. That's why I'm positive Andre was born in 76 or 77, if not sooner. Andre gotta be 40-something years old. Gotta be. Again, I wouldn't know about him. If he was born later than that, I wouldn't even know about him. But yeah, that was magic. You know, Dr. Bus is a fucking wizard, you know? Or yeah, he's a wizard. Dr. Bus was a wizard. They make him look. I saw a picture. What was I watching? I saw a picture of somebody, and it was like you look at him and you can see the wicked in Dr. Bus face. Go look up a picture of Dr. Bus and look at that. There's no life in that face. That is just straight wicked. There's something deeper about Magic and Isaiah beef. The media tried to make it look like their beef was basketball. No, it ain't just basketball. You know, Dr. Tucker robbed him. Robbed him. I don't mean like Dr. Tucker picked a pocket. I'm talking about hundreds of thousands of dollars that Dr. Tucker stole from each person. And you can look that up and find it. But that's the real reason why it was the beef. And that's why Isaiah said in the choir. That's where they released it. They released it in the choir. It was a little corner of the choir said Isaiah said Magic got AIDS from fucking with trannies. That was in choir like 81, 82, something like that. Whenever Magic came out, maybe it was a little later, but whenever Magic came out, that's what Isaiah said about it. And it had to do with that money. That's why he said that. Andre was born in 81. Okay. So I was at A&T in 81. Says Andre was born in January 11th of 81. Okay, I guess I'm wrong about that. How do I know about him, though? I don't even know how I would know about him being born in 81. Okay, I'm wrong about that. So that would have been, 79, 80, 81. Yeah, well, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I admit it. I still don't know how I know about it because I was in A&T then. I was living in Greensboro. So I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I will admit being wrong. I will admit being wrong. I thought, well, still make him about 40 years old, though. He's still up there in age. I don't know how I know about him then, but I know he's Daryl's cousin. I know that. So, wasn't that Magic? Yeah. Well, yeah. Magic felt. Well, Magic knew. Magic knew though. Magic knew. And it was the money thing. It was all about the money and Dr. Tucker. How Dr. Tucker screwed them all in money. That's really what the real beef with them was, and he felt that Magic knew. And they Isaiah didn't consider that Dr. Tucker stole from Magic too, and Greg Kelser, because when they all went in the league, Magic and Kelser went in the league in '79. Isaiah and Mark Aguirre went the next year, and Dr. Tucker was all of their agents. And it was others, Kevin Loader. I won't say Kevin. Dr. Tucker was Kevin's. I want to even say Gerving. Now, I could be wrong with that because Gerving, I could be wrong with Gerving, but I want to say Gerving. He was Gerving's agent too. Yeah, I want to say at one point Dr. Tucker was even Gerving's agent because Gerving wasn't even going to classes at Michigan State, and Dr. Tucker, even Ralph Simpson. That's why Gerving went to Eastern Michigan, and Eastern Michigan had a squad that was winning, and they found out. I think Gerving was the only one enrolled in the school. So Eastern Michigan had 5 hooping brothers, and Gerving was the only one enrolled in the school. The rest of them wasn't even enrolled in the school and was hooping college. You can look that one up. They arrested the coach for that shit. He got arrested for that shit. So Gerving was forced to go in the ABA after 1 or 2 years. Ralph Simpson, the same thing. Dr. Tucker was holding classes for the basketball players. And so when they shut that down and fired Dr. Tucker, Ralph Simpson ended up going, I think it was called the Denver, the same way Spencer Haywood played with it. The Nuggets was called the Rockets at first. It was the Denver Rockets at first. So when you see like Spencer Haywood being the MVP and Rookie of the Year, it's with the Rockets. It wasn't the Nuggets then. It was the Rockets. But Ralph Simpson, he wore 44. But he's from Detroit. He went to Pershing. Still trying to figure out how I knew about Andre. Well, I'm an old boy. I guess heard about it later. Well, I was going home every summer too. I was going home. Well, first 2 summers, I went home. That last summer, yeah, I quit going home. So that was about probably 80. After the 81 season, I didn't go home. I just stayed in Greensboro for the next 7 years. So what time is it? Because I'm getting sleepy. I'm tired. So I had a lot, finances. I said, Jackie, the book about Magic and Bird, not one mention of Dr. Tucker. And Magic worked his camps every summer. All of them. Kelser, all of them was working that camp. That's where I met Isaiah. One of Dr. Tucker's camps in Lansing. What was the real reason they didn't let Isaiah Thomas on the team? People didn't like Isaiah. Isaiah kind of an asshole. He's kind of an asshole, and they didn't like him. Larry Bird didn't like him. Michael Jordan didn't like him. They just didn't, his personality. Isaiah is like my height, maybe 6'1.5". I mean, we like this. He ain't that much taller than me. And he has a little man complex. I mean, he really does. He has a little man complex, and that's what kept him off. That's what kept him off. The way he treated Larry Bird. Larry Bird didn't like that motherfucker, nor did Jordan. That's what kept him off the team, was the way that everybody else looked at him. Nobody liked him. He had no allies on the team other than his coached the team. But that was it. None of the players liked that motherfucker. So that's why he was off the team. John Stockton was hurt. They let John Stockton be on the team, and John Stockton was hurt. Go back and look at the games. He was hurt. Like you can see an interview where he's walking around. Nobody knows who John Stockton is. Lorenzo. My brother's a year and a month older than Andre. Okay. Yeah, because Andre, I want to say it was an all-star commercial. But I still don't know how I would have known about him. Yeah, work is smooth. Work is smooth. It's been about 8-9 years since I had to work. So work is smooth. I like where I can just go in and not be bothered and just do my work. If I have a problem, they fix it. Cool. So it's cool, yeah. It'll help with investing. Little change and, just kind of getting out the house too. Because I'm like a hermit, like a motherfucker. I'm a homebody. I'm definitely a homebody. I have everything in here that I need, and other than female coming in and out, I've always been like that. Always been more of a homebody. It was like even when I hustled, sometimes it's like people owe me money, and a true hustler go out and get it. It'd be like, okay, I'll come get it. I'd be like, man, I'll see you tomorrow. And then I'd have to go beat their ass. I remember one dude owed me money. And then he went and with my money went and bought some weed. And I remember I was like, I punched him in his mouth, and I just took like just a armful of weed. I just like took all that weed, was like this. I ain't gonna say his name, but rest in peace, Joe, for sure. He's like, well, you didn't come. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, you still owe me money. Yeah, thank you. What is this? Since you mentioned it that way, show when he coached the Knicks. He coached for the Knicks in 2000. Okay. No, my brother is a month and a week older. Okay, a month and a week older. Okay. So who do I know in 81? Damn, I don't even know nobody that I can think of was born around then. Because again, I was living in Greensboro then. I just don't know how I know about Andre, though. I don't know how I know about him. Been a good live as always, Aikman. It's pretty awesome how you can connect without being in person. Well, I try to. Thank you, Sean. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna send you some shirts out too. I'm gonna send you Viking shirts out though. I'm gonna send you some Viking shirts. So I'm gonna go get some shirts. I'm gonna get some more crystals for sure though. I haven't bought any crystals. Uh, I caught my mother talking shit about me to her friends. And like my mother and I was talking and we hung up. And my mother was like talking shit. And not, just mother shit. And I like told her about it. She's like, I didn't say that. Like, Mom, you butt dialed me. You went in a restaurant with your friends. I'm listening to the whole conversation. I hung up after a minute, but I'm like, you was talking a little shit. Oh, they don't remember me saying that. Like, come on now. Why would you put that bad juju on me? You know how people get to just talking and shit. Isaiah had a Napoleon complex. Yeah, he had a Napoleon complex for sure. And naive. Niggas from Chicago, naive. Like Jordan, writing checks. Lose a couple $100,000 shooting craps. Don't you know if you lose too many times, there's something going on? And I don't know. I don't know. Isaiah was doing some stupid shit. But see, trying to show he's a gangster and he ain't never been a gangster. His brothers was in gangs, but not him. But you mugs be thinking they because they're from somewhere that they got gangster shit in them. After you lose 50 grand in the crap game and you got to write a check and you gonna have to write checks up to 200,000. You go to Vegas and they would give certain people credit called markers. You keep taking markers from these motherfuckers. Come on, something's going on, Isaiah. But he was too naive. Motherfuckers want to be street when they ain't street. They fronting. What they say, you be fronting. And that's what Isaiah was. Michael Jordan got caught in the same shit. He's a gambling addict. That's that book I'm reading, Infrastructure. That's all. It's all these gambling addicts. Michael Jordan ain't no different. He's a gambling addict. Who goes when you playing in the playoffs and you need to stay plugged in? Who goes and gambles that night till 2, 3 in the morning if you ain't a gambling addict? Most dudes is breaking film down, trying to relax. Oh, that's the way I relax. I have to go gamble. Come on, get out of here with that shit. Only an addict would do that. That's like a dope head, You telling the dope head to stay home. The dope head says, no, I need to go study some more dope. Same thing. Same thing. But yeah, and he ain't short. I mean, he's short in the world of pro sports, but he ain't short just general people. But yeah, he had that kind of thing on his shoulder. Oh, Brendan Sir. Do y'all remember when Isaiah choked Brendan Sir on TV? Isaiah had something going, and Brendan Sir's son coaches one of the college teams, and he had Brendan Sir like this, and they ain't suspend him. He did the same thing, but on TV. Spreewell didn't do his shit on TV. Isaiah choked the coach on TV. There was something going on. He grabbed Brandon Sir and started choking the shit out of him. They ain't suspending him or nothing. I don't know if y'all ever caught that. But I was watching the game. Again, Michigan, all the Pistons, like here I watch all the Timberwolves game. In Michigan, all the Pistons game come on basically TV 50, which used to be old TV 50. Like all the Bulls games came on WGN. All the Pistons game came on TV 50 for a time. Forget what cable it is now. But it showed Isaiah choking Brandon Sir. Brandon Sir's son coaches. Brandon Sir got to be old. Brandon Malone. Brandon Malone. Okay. Maybe I'm saying it. I thought it was Brandon Malone. Okay. Yeah, his son coaches. But Isaiah had his ass. Choked the shit out of him. Isaiah was like just in a rage, and he looked at him and started choking the shit out of him. And nothing was done. Nothing was done about that. Well, guys, I am tired. I need to get some rest. I will be on tomorrow for sure. I'll do the divination before I stop. Thank you. This time flew by. And so tonight is day 5, Cinco de Mayo, day 5-2, and the energy is ik. It is a air or wind is the Mayan usage. Quality, spirit, breath, wind, inspiration, presence, truth, co-creative reality, simplicity, unforeseen forces, integration of polarities, focused intent. Symbol is the spiral whirlwind or a hawk. Number is 2. Excuse me. It's day 2. Color is translucent white. So if you need a little push, it's translucent white. Herbs is eucalyptus. Flowers is white spider or baby breaths or lilies. Flower essence is red ginger. Scent is copal or sweetgrass. Stones, Herkimer diamonds. And I got one of them clear things right there. Herkimer diamond, quartz, clear topaz. Direction is from the north. The shadow wisdom, choosing to see oneself as a victim rather than taking responsibility for creating one's reality. Doubting your connection to divinity, issues of separation, thinking you are separate from the source. But the way you can transform it is learn to sense and experience your connection with the source by acting on inspiration as it comes to you. Again, what did I say earlier? You will not get the message if your stuff's not clear and you can't receive it. You got to be able to receive it. The harmonic wisdom is interval. Mantra is open hands beneath the mouth, blowing the breath of the spirit, wind, then moving hands out like this, ending with your hands clasped. And as you would say, I am the united presence of the spirit. I am fertilizing and loaming force of the cosmic winds. And I will put a little time walking information is Mora. It all starts with a gentle sadness. They came from their original homeland. They knew they had exact numbers of years and days before they would disappear as a culture and a lifestyle, but the civilization would build to a gentle love. They lived in the Creator's day and knew how to separate cycles in the great serpent. And as someone had asked me tonight, again, I am another yourself really says be able to put yourself into those other eyes. And so when you see your opinion, also be able to put yourself in them to see their opinion. And so that's how you treat anybody. And so as those who rest, may you rest well. May everything in your room be enough to protect you. If you have not made any agreement, then there's nothing that should harm you because you have made no agreement. The things you put in your room should be enough to protect you. Whatever colors, whatever curtains, whatever knickknacks, whatever you put should protect you because you have made no agreement to be attacked. And so rest well in your creation ball field. And those of you that have to work, may you work safely. May the time go by safely, and may you even travel to your home safely. May you rest well. And remember, love just is. It has no equal. And my final is the words of Lazarus Long. The days are long, but the years are short. The days are long, but the years are short. Well, y'all, it's been a Chocolate Mountain Show. Thank you again for making this channel's come back from the dead. They killed the other channel. I had to start all over again. But thank you because of people watching and support and all the people commenting. I appreciate it. And thank you so much. I don't take that for granted. I don't. And for those of you who help the channel, thank you so much. I am a very humble person. I don't try to front and say I live a certain way. I'm very modest living. As I said, up until the last couple of weeks, I drove a 2005 Daddy wagon, which my daughter said I had the raggediest car picking everybody else up. And I understand through her eyes what that meant, but I didn't take any offense to it because it was enough for me. That truck took me to Michigan and back a couple times. It never left me stranded on the highway. So I had no problem with it. I had a sunroof. This car don't have a sunroof. So I didn't feel ashamed about it. It got me around. And that's all a car needs to do. A car is a tool. A car is a tool. That's it. So check me out tomorrow. I will be back. And email me a specific color or something you guys want because I'm going to pick up some shirts too. Because Conspiracy University, if you catch this later, I can get you a hat like I'm sending Sean. They had another one. But if you don't like snapbacks, then, I'll think of something else. So let me know. So this has been the Chocolate Mountain Show. Till we meet again, say less.